Huawei Y9. Hey everyone, Mukul this side. Some people have asked me that what is the main difference between Huawei Y9 and the upcoming Redmi Note 7. They wanted to know which one is better and should they wait for the Redmi Note 7. So I thought to make this video and let you guys know which I think would be better. Huawei Y9 is soon launching on Amazon India, and I think Note 7 it should come by or around February or maybe a little earlier. I don't know. I'm not sure. Don't take my word on it. The major difference which I noticed on these two phones are the processor and the cameras. And I think the batteries are about the same. The Wi-Fi communication, the sensors is the same. The Y9 doesn't have infrared. So all those features which come with the Redmi Note 7, like you can control a lot of your home appliances with that phone, you won't be able to do that with your Y9. Both have FM recordings. The Redmi Note 7 has Type-C reversible connector and the Y9 comes with the standard micro USB connector. But then Redmi Note 7 has Quick Charge 4, so maybe it will charge your phone a little faster than the Y9. So the screen size is almost the same. The Redmi 6.3 inches and the Huawei 6.5 inches. The resolution is around about the same. Maybe the Huawei Y9 doesn't come with any Corning glass, and the Redmi Note 7 definitely comes with the Corning Gorilla Glass 5. So you would have more protection on your Redmi phone than on your Huawei Y9. And as obviously the skin on the Android on both the phones are different. So that's a very subjective decision. Some people like MIUI, some people don't. Some people might like EMUI. I don't have much experience of it, but I know that OS is a little light than the MIUI one. Both comes with 4 and 6 GB of variant, but the Huawei Y9 starts with 64 GB of internal memory, which is very good. So I'm basically making this video on their camera and performance differences. Huawei Y9 comes with Kirin 710 processor, which is a 12 nanometer processor, and the Redmi Note 7 comes with Snapdragon 660 processor. Now, if you compare the benchmarks, do not ever blindly trust the benchmarks. Sometimes these benchmarks do score much, but in the real-time test, in the real-time play, the story comes out to be very different. So because the Huawei Y9 comes with the Kirin 710 processor, this processor is basically separated into two parts. So the one end of the processor runs at 2.2 GHz and the other end, the second end of the processor runs at 1.7 GHz. Both ends have 4 cores each, so making the processor as a 8-core CPU. So I feel that definitely the Kirin 710 processor is going to be a little more efficient than the Snapdragon 660 processor. But looking at how the Snapdragon market is, looking at how already the phones with Snapdragon 660, how they are already good, I think if MIUI is optimized enough to use the CPU in a better, more efficient way, then you might get a better battery life on the Redmi Note 7 as compared to Huawei Y9. But one drawback the Kirin 710 processor has, it comes with Mali G51 processor, and that GPU isn't as fast as the GPU on the 660 processor, which is a Adreno 512 GPU, and that is because the Adreno 512 GPU runs at 850 MHz as its base speed, and the GPU on the Kirin 710 runs at 650 MHz. But the Huawei Y9 comes with a GPU turbo boost technology to help you play your games in a better, more efficient way. So one thing I'm not sure of is that on some places I have read that the Huawei Y9 comes with Bluetooth 5.0 support, but Kirin 710 doesn't support Bluetooth 5.0. The Redmi Note 7 definitely has the support for version 5.0, but I'm not sure on the Huawei Y9 if it is the same or 4.2. Because if you look on Wikipedia site and other websites which are a little old articles, they all say that the Kirin 710 supports Bluetooth 4.2. So maybe it's a mistake, or maybe they are doing this intentionally just to compare against with the Redmi Note 7. we'll have to wait and see. Hey everyone, if you're liking this video, do check out my other content on the channel and do consider subscribing, as it motivates me a lot to make such similar content. So more or less the real-time usage, the real-time performance of the phone is going to be same. Maybe even on the gaming end, the Huawei is going to perform as good as the Snapdragon 660 because of that boost, but that boost can also be a marketing gimmick, so just be careful of that, because Huawei has a history of using some wrong numbers on their specification page and stuff like that, so just be careful. I believe the camera on the Redmi Note 7 is going to be better because its pixel size, as I've discussed in my previous video. Check the card above to know more about that. I believe that Redmi Note 7 is going to be a better camera performance when it comes to the rear camera, because the pixel binding technology they are using, because of that they are able to use a higher pixel size of 1.6 micrometer. So the Y9 comes with a 16 megapixel f2.0 aperture rear camera lens with a 2 megapixel f2.4 depth sensor. And as I've shared in my previous video, the Note 7 comes with a 48 megapixel f1.8 aperture half-inch sensor and also a depth sensor. But I believe that under low light conditions, especially under the low light conditions, the Redmi Note 7 is going to perform way better than the Huawei Y9. And when it comes to the front camera, I believe that the Huawei Y9 does have a depth sensor in front of the camera, and the Redmi Note 7 doesn't have it. Also, the Huawei Y9 takes 1080p videos at 30 fps, but the Redmi Note 7 will take your videos at 30, 60 and 120 fps, supported by electronic image stabilization. I also believe that the loudspeaker of the Redmi Note 7 is going to be louder than the Huawei Y9. As I've mentioned before, I've shared why is that in my previous video, so do check it out also. So I believe more or less both the phones are going to perform the same. In gaming, maybe Huawei Y9 will match the GPU performance of the Redmi Note 7, but we are not sure until we test it ourselves. So what's good with the MI is its processor, its Corning Glass 5, its GPU, its camera, its rear camera, its loudspeaker sound, its for sure and confirmed Bluetooth 5.0 support, USB Type-C charging with Quick Charge 4.0 support. Also, the Redmi Note 7 will come with Android Pie out of the box and the infrared remote. And what's good on the Huawei Y9 is the front camera. And the Y9 comes with a minimum of 64 GB of internal storage, so that's very good. But I believe if you pay more on the Redmi Note 7, but we don't know the price of the Redmi Note 7 yet, but more or less I believe it would be priced similarly. So yep, apart from these two things, so 2 advantages on Y9 and 7 advantages on Redmi Note 7, I believe Redmi Note 7 is going to be a better phone. So if you can, then you can wait for it, because it will be priced somewhere around the same price segment. I see a lot of videos on YouTube and most of them, they just very strongly feel like advertisements to me, sponsored videos. I'm pretty sure the smart ones out there would know what I'm talking about. I also am like you. I also watch these videos. They are part of my research. So be careful of what people say and be careful with your purchase. Just be a little patient and you will find the right phone for yourself. That's all for today. Mewbot out.